Wasn't Dave Burrow so marvelous the last time we spoke with him? Well, he is here again today, and we're going to talk very specifically about how to get hired in the FDA, some resources to do so for any of the government agencies in the US. It is very helpful for any job seeker. And of course, I ask him my favorite question, which is, what do you love about clinical research? Stay tuned for that. I think we need to see a big change in the way that human resources professionals, whom I love, are looking at resumes as well, looking for skill sets that are more integral to the character of the person, the mindset of the person, like analytical skill, the technological skills, stuff like that, that isn't necessarily evident from a person's resume, and it's a very tough go. So, what about at the FDA? Are you seeing the same thing in hiring? Like, and also, what are career paths in the FDA, and how do you get there?
Yeah, you better believe it. We're seeing the same thing at FDA as everywhere else in industry. We're not, special because we're the federal government here. Um, the idea of clinical research as a profession is one that really kind of transcends, and it's those types of roles aren't just exclusive to FDA. There are available opportunities in clinical research at organizations like NIH, VA, CDC. We have a lot of public health service officers where they are employed by the United States Public Health Service and serve in roles at the FDA or other federal opportunities where they can have those interests in clinical research. And it used to be that in order to be able to be selected for a role in FDA, clinical research or otherwise, you had to go through USA Jobs, and it's a pretty extensive hiring process with a lot of bureaucracy. Probably shouldn't say that, but I did already, so that's it. But the name of the game has changed. In FDA now, we have a new hiring authority. It's not so new. I guess it's been around for 5 or 6 years now, the 21st Century Cures Hiring Authority. And
Okay.
that has been a tremendous asset for FDA in being able to hire individuals to fill necessary medical and scientific positions without the same amount or type of hurdles that you would otherwise see in USA Jobs. And my advice to anybody who's interested in exploring FDA as a career path, positions in FDA generally, not even just related to clinical research, is to explore your Google Kung Fu. Try searching for jobs out there right now. You can see a lot of them on LinkedIn. I would highly recommend searching for things like 21st Century Cures and FDA. And that idea of being open-minded really starts to come up here again, because it's not just about the series, like the job series, but it's more about the function that that individual might hold in an organization. So you could look for jobs in the consumer safety officer type of role, or as pharmacists or pharmacologists. You could look for things in the policy analyst space, or program analyst, or project manager. There are a ton of different types of positions that FDA is always hiring for. And the single best and easiest way into the Food and Drug Administration is going to be through 21st Century Cures announcements. And those aren't necessarily going to be on USA Jobs. So the name of the game there has shifted a little bit in trying to get into the FDA. Now, when we're talking about the types of things that we're looking for in our candidates, it's not just about the professional background or skill set that we're looking for. The two big things that I like to highlight are communication skills, because those verbal and written communication skills are worth their weight in gold. It is so rare that it should be considered a superpower. If you find a really effective communicator, those are the types of candidates that I'm really just chomping at the bit for. I'm not sure if that's the right expression or what, but I just love a really natural, fluid, effective communicator. So rare, it should be a superpower. And the second, you can tell just from the way that I talk here, it's a sense of humor. And those are things that you would not ordinarily see in a job description or in an announcement or anything, but those are things that you're looking for when you're making hiring decisions, because I will freely admit that I find a great sense of humor in a professional environment to be like WD-40. When fit hits the shan, a sense of humor can get things unstuck and moving in a way that precious little could in other contexts.
This is why I
Monologue over.
love talking to just love talking to you. For anyone listening who has not heard Dave Burrow talk at a conference, it's always this great. I did not know about 21st century cures. We will definitely highlight that because the last time I remember looking for a job in the government, it was through USA Jobs, and it sounds like that's still there. But this is really good to know. And to your point for job seekers, there are a lot of companies now who don't have the resources to update their website, or they do, but they don't find it necessary with careers. They put them only through LinkedIn. So that is a good point too, because it used to be that, you had to go to a certain website and look for careers. And now I think LinkedIn actually does a lot of that. And I know neither of us have a stake in LinkedIn, I'm sure of it. So
Fair point.
those are really good tips. Yeah, we are not we get nothing for this promo. All right. Well, that was fantastic. So there's a question I'm asking everyone. What is exciting or amazing about working in clinical research?
So, in keeping with my tradition here, I think I'd probably give a pretty non-traditional response to the question. And that's likely going to be due to my role here leading an office. We have about 80 people in the Office of Scientific Investigations here as a global regulator, and with my background in both pharmacy and in law, I can easily say that the thing that is most exciting for me about a career in clinical research is the one-on-one conversations that I can have with people. And the way that that shows up is that in a conversation with somebody, either within FDA or in industry, you can have a conversation and just hear this backpack of worry. It's a backpack full of just concern about the significance of the issues that they're dealing with, the stress and the anxiety, the fact that these things really do matter. They matter for people, for clinical research subjects, for the American public that's poised to get access to new and effective medication. These things really do matter. And in those one-on-one conversations, when you can see somebody just weighed down by the burden of something that they've been struggling with, we come to this idea where we need to shift our mental model, because we go through school thinking that there's a right answer or a wrong answer to every question, that things are inherently either going to be good or going to be bad. But what we have here in a really complex and fluid professional environment is that you're compelled to make the best decision you can with the information that's available at that point in time. And I love the ability to have a conversation with somebody, either within FDA or in industry, where they share a problem, this thing that they have been weighed down with, spent many hours or days or weeks just trying to find a path forward through, where it's just unclear. And many times in those conversations, you can just talk it through and get to an answer in like 5 minutes. Where is the chase and how do you cut to it? And the best part of my day, the best part of working in clinical research is when you can take these really uncertain, challenging topics that people are just burdened with and find a path through in conversation. And I am called into this profession by those conversations where I know I have done a fantastic job in moving the industry forward, one conversation, one person, one issue at a time. That's what I love about clinical research.
Love that. The collaboration. There's just sometimes this sense that we're not all in it together. But I literally said to someone today, and I've said it for years, it takes a village to grow a trial, to raise a trial. But it's the whole industry. We are all one big village and we're all in it together. And I absolutely love talking to you every time, Dave. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's my honor. Thank you.